Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's Business Spotlight. I'm your host, Todd Rodden. I'm a certified business and executive coach. I'm with Aspire Action Coach, based here in the Dayton and Cincinnati, Ohio areas. And I think you'll love this visionary discussion we're going to have today with Galen Yoder. He's the CEO, and he says the visionary around RoofX, which is a roofing construction firm here in Southwest Ohio. And you're going to love his passion, his commitment to growing and building a thriving enterprise in the roofing industry. So if you're new to this series, we're thrilled to have you join us. We encourage you to hit the subscribe button so you'll receive future messages like what you're going to hear from Galen today as well. So without further ado, Galen Yoder of RoofX, take a second, introduce yourself. We're thrilled to have you join us today. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about your business.
Hey Todd, thanks for having me on today. I've been looking forward to it, and yeah, I'm excited to spend these next 30 minutes with you and chat a little bit about what's going on in our business. I guess just a little bit about myself, who I am. I'm Galen Yoder, and I come from a construction background. I've been involved in the construction industry in my pretty much my whole life. The only job I've ever had is in the construction world. So it's something that I've really enjoyed the trades, learning how to put things together, how to build things. And now I'm super passionate about building a business that is going to last for decades and really make an impact, not just in our community, but throughout the whole state of Ohio.
Well, maybe take a little minute, share just kind of some of the services that you provide at RoofX.
Yeah. So what we provide at RoofX, I always tell the way that way that I always tell our people is we're in the business of providing peace of mind to homeowners. And the vehicle that we have to do that is our best in class roofing and seamless gutter services that we have to offer to homeowners. That way, when the storms are blowing outside, that harsh weather sets in, we want our homeowners, we want our community to have peace of mind knowing that they're protected, their families are protected. And for a lot of people, their home is the biggest investment that they'll make in their lives. So we want to make sure that people know that their assets are protected when that harsh weather hits and when that storm is blowing outside. So that is what we specialize in is residential roofing, seamless gutters, in the roofing space, whether it's asphalt shingles or something that's been really popular over the last few years is metal roofing. We do offer metal roofing services as well. And that is really that's what we specialize in. That's what we're good at. And that's what we love doing every single day.
So what I heard, residential focus is predominantly your business, repair and replacement, or do you do a lot of kind of new build, new construction as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. We predominantly we do residential homes, but we do a small percentage of commercial buildings. A lot of times, the way that we determine whether we can handle it or not is if your structure has a sloped roofing system, then we can take it on. But if it has a flat roofing system, that's not really in our wheelhouse. That's a whole different ball game. So we've got some partners, trade partners that we work with to connect those building owners that might have a flat roofing system that needs taken care of. So that's kind of our bread and butter. That's what we're really good at.
Well, the roofing space seems to be pretty competitive, right? There seems to be quite a few providers out there. So I'm curious, what makes you unique and separates RoofX from the competition?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's a lot of great roofing companies out there, throughout the state of Ohio. But I think that's something that really makes our business unique. We call it our three uniques. The first one is we're a very relationship-based company. We really truly care deeply about each and every one of our customers that trust us to put a roof on for them. And a lot of times something like this can be such a transactional relationship where you're in and out, you do the project, you move on. But our goal is we want to build a relationship with this customer so that if they ever have an issue down the road or they know of someone else that has an issue, we want them to think of us, and we want to just kind of nurture that relationship. We want it to be a lifelong relationship instead of just a transactional relationship. So that's the first thing that we feel truly makes us different. It's just our level of passion that we have for that. The second thing that that makes us different is the next level customer service that we provide. Uh, in so many experiences in the construction industry, customer service just is usually terrible. They don't answer the phone. They don't know what's all going on in their home improvement project. And from my experience, and when I've done home improvement projects, they cost a lot of money. So our goal is to provide our customers with that next level communication. We want them to always know what's going on with the project. We want them to always know what the next step is going to be. And most of all, we want someone to be there to answer the phone when they call so that they're not left in the dark wondering what's going on with their project. And the last one, and this is really one that's near and dear to my heart, is providing education for our customers. Most customers have no idea how a roof should go together or what the best roofing material is or should be for their home improvement project. So one of our goal and part of our process with each customer is to educate them. We spend a lot of time educating them and empowering them on the different roofing systems that are out there, which are the best, which are going to last longer. And our goal is to empower them so that they can make the best possible decision when it comes to their project. You know, whether they go with us or they go with someone else, we want them to understand at least basically how a roof goes together, what goes into it, so that they know what to look for, so that they are empowered to make sure that they know what is going on with their project. So that's kind of an overview of what I feel makes us different. And that's what we're really passionate about as a company in the service that we offer to our customers every day.
So those three key pillars there, right? The relationship, great next level service, right? And then also
Mhm.
providing that education so that they can make an informed decision. I'm curious
Mhm.
on the relationship side, right? How do you give it, if you want mind, give an example or maybe something you do that you think really embeds and deepens that relationship? Because it can be so easy to fall in that trap. It's just transactional and right, we're here and we're on, right?
Yeah, that's a great question. The big thing is just each person, each sales rep that connects with that customer is just, get to know them. Don't just while you're out at the home, don't just talk to them about what's going on their roof. Ask some questions about, what's going on in their personal life. What do you guys, what hobbies do you have? What do you get excited about? And when you start making just some general connections outside of what, what's going to be up on their roof,
Mhm.
it's amazing how you kind of connect, or you might know mutual people. And then one other small step that we do is we set annual check-ins. Once we've got your roof installed, we're going to set annual check-ins with you where we give you a buzz and say, hey, how's it going? Is everything performing all right? Is there anything else that we could do for you? How's life treating you? Just kind of that little touch point to let them know, hey, we haven't forgotten about you. We want to make sure that your roof is performing properly, and if there's any issues, let us know so that we can take care of them for you.
Oh, I love that personal follow-up a year plus later because often it's, hey, once the job is done,
Mm-hmm.
you don't see or hear from them again. So I love
Yeah.
that follow-up there. So you talked about, hey, you're passionate about building a growing and thriving business. So curious, what have been the successful strategies for you in terms of marketing the business, attracting new leads and new customers?
So one of the best ways, or really what got us started in the when we started growing drastically, was just word of mouth. Like I always tell people, if you do a good job and that person tells two or three people about you, the word starts spreading very fast. So that's to this day, word of mouth referrals are still our best lead source. Now, as we've grown as a company, we have started doing a lot of other things. In today's society, there is so much noise in the marketing world. You've got all this, everything going on social media. You have, TV ads, billboards, there's signs everywhere. There's a lot of noise in the marketing world. So we've really, you know, other than just trying to do a good job and getting referrals, we've really taken a kind of a guerrilla marketing approach where it's a combination of a lot of things. It's for us, it's leveraging the digital aspect of it, like Google and social media. It's having some physical billboards throughout your community and small things like yard signs. Something every time you do a project, setting out a yard sign is something small that is easy to forget. They're very inexpensive, but it's something small that people start seeing your name all around, everywhere that they go. So there's really, when it comes to marketing, I don't think there's really just one thing that was um that was like that huge difference maker, but it's like that combination of everything coming together to make that um to make that each marketing campaign kind of work off of each other, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. No, no, right. You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket as well, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes folks overlook the simple things that can be,
Mhm.
not that expensive, but very, very productive for you. So that's good. Thank you. You've been a business leader now for a few years. You've been in the trades and construction even longer. I'm curious, you look back over your time running the business, what's been a key challenge that you had in the past that you had to overcome, and what did you learn through that challenge?
Yeah, I would say when I think back over the last couple of years, probably one of the biggest challenges, and this is one that I'm learning to continue to be better at every single day, but is team building. So when I think of one of my biggest challenges that I've had to overcome in the business was when I went out and made those first key hires without
Mhm.
really having any idea about how to go about and do it.
Okay.
Um, it was a lot of trial and error. And, as a leader, I'll be honest, like there was a few times where I made hires that I probably didn't set up the person for success and, it didn't work out. And, that's something that I take responsibility for. And it's something that I want to continue to get better at every single day. It's just being a better leader, being a better team builder. um, I'm not sure whose quote this is, but I've heard it a few times. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, um, have a team. Do it with other people.
Yeah.
So just when you when it the difference between going out and installing a roof and doing the physical labor of the roofing side of things and trying to build a business is once you're trying to build a business, it's all about building people. And one of the things that I've had to learn as a leader is the business is never going to grow more than what the business leader or the owner does. So I'm always the cap when it comes to how big is the business going to grow, how fast is the business going to grow. And so learning how to continue to level myself up, continue to level up my leadership so that I can continue to level up the people around me and the team around me, that is really what is going to help the business continue to grow faster and be stronger for the long term of it.
Boy, there's so much in there, Galen. I'm gonna peel a couple of those pieces apart. So first and foremost, so how you talked about the importance, hey, the business is never gonna outgrow the cap that the leader is. So, and you talked about investing in yourself. So I'm so curious, what have been some key practices you've done or you're doing to continue to grow your leadership?
Yeah, I think the big thing is, for me, I've invested a lot of money in, coaching and mentors, talking to people who have been where you want to go is such a cheat code. It's such a shortcut. Like, when you if there's someone who kind of been there, done that, go talk to them, go learn from them. They've already been there. They can point out some pitfalls that they went through that you possibly won't have to go through. And a lot of times what happens is like we kind of have a little bit of success and then we get a little bit of an ego to where like we think, I've got this figured out. I think I can, I've made it this far. I can figure it out. I don't need to go learn from anyone else. And that is such a big pitfall that is easy to fall into when it comes to that.
All right. Hey, thank you for sharing that. Hey, another thing, you said several things that jumped out. The other thing was, hey, recognize, hey, maybe you didn't always set new hires and folks up for success. So I'm curious, as you go forward, what are some of the things you do now to ensure that you're setting those folks up for success?
Yeah, so there's a couple of key things, but one of the first key things is whenever you're hiring someone, having a clear scope and expectations laid out for them. What are you going to want to have this person to do? What does success look like in their role? And once you're done training them and once they're in the flow of it, did you train them well enough that they can explain to someone else what their role is, what success looks like in their role, and what they need to be doing every single day? And the second piece of that is everyone's different. Everyone has a very unique skill set. And sometimes just because someone thinks that they would be a good fit for a role, you as a leader have to honestly assess that and say, with the skill set that he has or she has, that this person has, is that actually going to be the right fit?
Mhm.
Because a lot of times people tend to want to do what they're comfortable doing.
Oh, yeah.
And if it's something like they might have been stuck in a role that they really weren't a great fit for most of their life, and they actually really didn't enjoy it. It was just what they knew and what they wanted to do. So sometimes we as leaders have to help people push out of their comfort zone into what they could really thrive in, what they're really good at, and just making sure that they're the right person for the right seat. We operate in the EOS framework, so there's a very simple sequence to go through. Does the person get it? Do they want it? Do they have the capacity to do it? It's just three simple questions that you have to ask yourself. And you can pretty soon figure out if that's the right person for the right seat or not.
Hey, thank you for sharing that more depth there. So I'm curious, as you look forward, what's the current challenge you have in front of you?
Yeah, so the current challenge that we have in front of us is just continuing to how fast can we build our team? If effectively and efficiently train and onboard. Like for us, a big thing right now is continuing to grow our sales team. Um, so how fast can we and effectively can we train those people and get them the right knowledge, get them the right skill sets? Because we don't just hire people who have previous experience in their roles. We'll hire some people who, if they're a good fit culturally, they line up with our core values. You can't teach character, but you can teach a skill. So it's empowering people. So I'd say the big thing we're up against right now is just how effectively and efficiently can we grow and scale the team, because the as a company we build the people are the ones that really drive the company growth.
Maybe take a second, build upon that. Maybe describe for the audience kind of your team, kind of the size of your team, kind of how
Yeah,
you're kind of organized.
yeah, absolutely. So I have, just kind of to give you an overview of our business structure, I have the blessing to be in partnership with my dad and my older brother. So we're a family owned and operated business. I've learned, everything I know in the construction world, I learned from my dad and my older brother. So such a great blessing. And we've been able to build a great team around us with currently I believe there's 21 full-time on payroll, plus um, we do a lot of our the installation side of our company. We have a lot of subcontracted labor during the summer months when we're
Sure.
super busy. So that works out really well. So we have 21 full-time on payroll plus another 25 to 30 subcontractors that work for us during the summer as well.
Good, healthy sized team. So uh, you talked about, hey, your goal, you're passionate about building, a thriving business. So what's your vision for the future? If we look down the road, several years, where do you dream the business to be?
Yeah, so several years down the road, first of all, our goal is just to continue to grow as a company. Our goal is to be the best residential roofing company throughout the state of Ohio. Within the next couple of years, our goal is to have multiple locations throughout the state. We currently just have one here in Leesburg, so we're looking to branch out, get into some different communities, some different markets, and overall, our goal is to be serving 3 to 4 thousand homeowners every single year. So um, that's where our long term vision is set. That's what our North Star is, and we're excited to get there.
So Galen, we have a lot of entrepreneurs tune into these discussions, many of which are newer in their journey. So it's
Mhm.
always great for those who've been through some ups and downs, some twists and turns in the road to kind of share what have been their keys to success. So what would you share with some of the newer entrepreneurs who are joining us
Yeah, that's
today?
a great question. One probably the biggest key to success is for I guess for me has been never lose that unshakable, unwavering belief in your mission, your vision, and in yourself. There's I mean, every single day there's circumstances that happen around me that I don't have control over. They're not always the funnest circumstances or the funnest things, but never lose sight of that vision, that mission, and that your belief in yourself. Stay locked in on that. Keep that unwavering belief, and stay consistent. Don't give up. It's the people that win are the ones that stay persistent and consistent no matter what's going on around them. Whether they're winning or losing, their approach is still the same.
Yeah. No matter the good days, the bad days,
Mhm.
some unfortunate things can happen way beyond our control. It's how you respond to those. So I love that.
Yeah, there's really I have it written on my whiteboard, but there's four things that I can control. I can control my attitude, I can control my effort, I can control my thinking, and I can control my actions. Other than that, I can't control the results. I can dictate what the results are going to be, and I can um, kind of influence what the results are going to be, but I can't physically control every single result. So if I stay focused and locked in on controlling what I can control, the results take care of themselves. And that's a lot of times where we get so caught up in it's so easy to get caught up in the circumstances and the things that are going on around us, and we try and control things that we can't actually control. And then we end up getting frustrated. We end up getting overwhelmed. And that's a lot of times where it ends up taking people down a deep, dark hole because they feel like they've lost all hope. They feel like they've lost all control. But if you stay locked in on the things that you can control, there's always hope. There's always a way.
No, no, great insights. And and I sense you're passionate about growing your business, but also a passionate learner as well. So I'm curious, what books have you read that have been influential, or a podcast that you follow, some other thought leader? And for those listening, I encourage you to check out Galen's LinkedIn. He has a lot of kind of educational and informative videos he shares around leadership and business growth as well.
Yeah, I mean, like I enjoy reading. I don't love reading personally, but I do read to learn. And I do love learning new things, new information. I'm always looking for that next idea. But I was trying to think of one specific book that I could recommend. Probably a book series that has been really powerful for me in just structuring the business was the EOS model, reading the book Traction, and then they also have some different books in that series that for me it not having a college degree, not having necessarily a business background, it helped me understand a simple framework of how to set up a business. But when it comes to that's only that's only one part of growing a successful business. The other part of that is working on yourself. Jim Rohn he always talks about you need to work harder on yourself than you actually do at your job. And that's talking about personal development. And you know, I would encourage any business owner to also spend a lot of time reading books on how to think properly. Our minds are one of the most powerful things that we have control over. And I was trying to remember the title of the book. So one of my mentors, Arash Vasugi, he wrote a book called The World Class Wealth Mindset. And it's all about learning how to understand your mind, thinking in a certain way, and then rewiring your brain to think on a completely different level. And that was one of the most powerful books when it came to, just learning more about myself, learning the power of my mind, and in building that resilient mindset to withstand whatever's going on around me. So that would be a book that is probably one of my top recommendations as well.
Well, thank you for sharing those examples and the other parts of your story as well. So Galen, as we get close to wrapping up here today, what are the best ways for folks to stay connected with you and RoofX and to follow you and the business on your journey?
Yeah, the best way to keep up with the business is go to our website at roofxusa.com. You'll be able to see what we have to offer. There's a section on there where we update weekly on the projects that we're doing, so you can see what projects we're working on, and also check out our social media. We're also very active on Facebook and Instagram. If you just look up RoofX, you'll be able to find it. And then me personally, I'm also very active on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Any of those, you should be able to find me just under Galen Yoder. And yeah, love for you guys to stay in touch if you want to see more of the journey. My goal is to continue to share more of that on social media to continue to raise awareness around what we're doing, where we're going. So I'd love for you guys to follow along with that.
All right, encourage folks to do that. And as I shared, I've seen some of your videos on that you shared on LinkedIn, so they're very informative. So final question, Galen, what are you inspired by today?
What am I inspired by today? I think the thing that inspires me the most is seeing people who, no matter what they're doing, what level they're at, they do everything with excellence. Whether for me, I've really been zoning in on just having that mindset of no matter what I'm doing, whether it's doing a podcast like this or whether it's um, whatever it is, I'm talking to someone on the phone, being 100% present and doing whatever I do to 100% excellence, do it to the best of my ability. And I get really inspired when I see high performers that operate at that level. No matter how big their business is or what they're doing, I love seeing people who are passionate about, even if it's someone who's working at a restaurant and they just go above and beyond to, serve my table or serve the people around them. To me, that's inspirational because they're passionate and they're inspired about what they're doing and they're excited about it. So
Oh,
that's something that inspires me.
yeah, I love that. It's contagious, right? When you see it and experience that as well.
Absolutely.
So Galen Yoder, thank you for sharing your story and the RoofX story as well with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. I really enjoyed it, Todd.
All right. And to our viewers, again, we're thrilled to have you join us. We encourage you to hit the like button as well. And again, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit subscribe so you can receive future messages like the inspiring and informative message you got from Galen here today as well. And without further ado, I wish you all a terrific day. Thank you so much.